A week or so ago I created a video where I talked about the basics of string tapping, and I used it to play a major scale. I covered string control and things like that, so please check that out if you've not seen it already. But I thought what I'd do this week is take that same idea and use the concepts in that to play a 2-octave minor 7th arpeggio. And actually you can take this same concept and play any 7th arpeggio, major 7th, minor 7th, dominant, diminished, you name it. So let's zoom in and we'll go through it. To start with then, let's talk about the shapes and how we can build some useful associations. So in general, I'm a big believer in consistency. And one of the things that I've discovered over the years is that for 7th arpeggios, you can turn them into a pattern that alternates between 2 notes on a string, then 1, then 2, then 1. So to give you an example, if I'm up on the 7th fret and I play sort of the arpeggio around that E minor 7, so this is an A minor 7th bar chord slid up to the 7th fret. So the arpeggio that I could build around that, the E minor 7th arpeggio just here, would start with 2 notes on the A string, 1 note on the D, 2 notes on the G, 1 note on the B, 2 notes on the E. And you can do this with any 7th arpeggio. It could be major, minor, diminished. They all will reduce into this kind of alternating 2-1, 2-1 type patterns. And I have created a few videos covering this, so I'll put a link if you want to explore this further. But this shape also lends itself really well to turn into a sort of a string tapping arpeggio just built on the same shape. So if I start with this shape, I position my left hand as though I was going to play the shape, and the left hand plays the strings which have 2 notes on them. So in this case I'd start with the A string, and then my right hand taps that 3rd note. And then I move to the next string with 2 notes, which is the G string. And then my right hand comes on and taps that other note, which would be on its own just there. And then finally, 2 notes on the E string, and then my right hand taps the 3rd one. So that gives me a nice sort of 2-octave, nice easy 2-octave little shape. And the other really neat thing about this is that you can take that shape and just move it across one set of strings. So instead of starting on the A string, I'll start on the E string. And that gives me another minor 7th arpeggio. So I'm playing exactly the same notes, the same frets. And everything just lines up to play a B minor 7th arpeggio this time, because the root note is a B. So if you like, this shape gives me 2 arpeggios for the price of 1 in one position, which is really useful. And actually that's how I like to start to practice this. So I'd start with the E minor 7th, then move to the B minor 7th, and then I'd slide up 2 frets and start on the A string again. And that would give me an F sharp minor arpeggio, and then I'd cross to start on the C sharp, so this would make a C sharp minor arpeggio. And then back to the E again. So let me know if that was useful for you. And if you want me to elaborate any more on this, maybe create some PDFs, go through some other shapes and things like that. But anyway, we'll chat next time. Goodbye.